She walked calmly toward the scaffold, wearing a gray dress, her hands clasped in prayer. But no one truly knew what she was thinking. The woman who had turned England upside down now stood alone, betrayed by everyone she once trusted. But what happened in those final moments was far from ordinary. Because Anne Boleyn's death wasn't just an execution. It was a performance, a silent warning, and a royal cover-up. And once you learn what really happened, you'll never look at the Tudors the same way again. Anne Boleyn was never supposed to be queen. Born to a noble family, she spent her early years in the courts of the Netherlands and France, learning languages, etiquette, and power. When she returned to England, she wasn't just beautiful. She was intelligent, witty, and ambitious. And she caught the eye of the one man whose gaze could change everything, King Henry VIII. But Anne refused to be just another mistress. She demanded a crown. For 7 years, Henry fought to annul his marriage to Catherine of Aragon. He broke from the Catholic Church. He made himself head of the Church of England, all for Anne. In 1533, Anne Boleyn was crowned Queen England's new monarch consort, but the victory came at a cost. The people called her the Great Whore. The courtiers whispered behind her back. And when she gave birth to a daughter, Elizabeth, instead of the long-awaited son, the whispers turned to daggers. Henry began to drift. Anne became more isolated. Her enemies multiplied. And then, the trap was set. In early 1536, Anne suffered a miscarriage, and this time it was a boy. Henry, cold and distant, saw it as a sign. His eye had already turned to Jane Seymour. And Thomas Cromwell, Henry's chief minister, saw an opportunity. In just days, a series of men were accused of having affairs with the Queen, including her own brother, George Boleyn. The charges were laughable. The trials were rushed. No real evidence. No real chance. But that didn't matter. This was never about justice. It was about removal. On May 17, 1536, 5 men were executed. 2 days later, it was Anne's turn. The night before her death, Anne reportedly joked with her ladies-in-waiting. She seemed calm. But beneath that calmness, fear, betrayal, heartbreak. She rose early on May 19, 1536. Her execution had been delayed once already. Some say Henry was waiting for the right moment. Others believe it was staged for maximum spectacle. Unlike other executions, Anne was to be beheaded not by axe, but by a French swordsman specially summoned. Why? Because Henry wanted it clean, quick, elegant, as if that made it less monstrous. She stepped onto the scaffold at Tower Green. She looked toward the crowd, the same nobles who once bowed before her. Then she spoke. "I pray God save the king and send him long to reign over you. For to me he was ever a good and gentle sovereign lord." Words carefully chosen. No blame. No protest. Only loyalty. Because even in death, Anne played her part. She knelt. Her ladies blindfolded her. She whispered a final prayer. And then, silence. The French executioner crept forward. He distracted her by calling to his assistant, "Bring me the sword!" And while Anne turned her head slightly, the sword already in hand swung. One stroke. No scream. Her head rolled forward, eyes open. Some witnesses claimed her lips moved as if she tried to speak. Some believed she was conscious for a few seconds after. We'll never truly know. Her body and head were placed in an empty arrow chest. No coffin. No ceremony. Buried in an unmarked grave. From Queen of England to forgotten corpse in less than a minute. But history did not forget her. Her daughter, Elizabeth. "I would one day become England's greatest monarch." And Anne's ghost? Some say she still walks the tower at night, searching, watching. Not for revenge, but for justice. Anne Boleyn's story isn't just a tale of betrayal. It's a reminder of how power seduces and how easily it discards. She changed the course of a nation. And for that, she paid with her life. If this haunted glimpse into Tudor history intrigued you, hit the like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that textbooks don't tell. Oh, because sometimes history's darkest moments reveal its deepest truths.